Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, We must build this world from love. If we build this world from love, Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, Olam chesed yibane, Well, good Shabbos, everyone. I've been thinking a lot about faith this week. And, one of the interesting things in Hebrew and English, in English, faith is something that you have. In Hebrew, faith is a verb. It's something that you do. It's a way that you live. It's a process of life. And I think faith in Judaism is the idea that even when we look out and it seems impossible to imagine that things will get better, that somehow we still have that hope. I've been thinking about a lot with Israel. I know a lot of us have been thinking about Israel and Gaza and all of the awfulness right now. And yet, for all of the darkness, I also wonder if maybe we aren't closer to a two-state solution than we have been in a decade. With the possibility of change, the possibility of something better rather than the status quo, maybe it's there. Maybe it's there and waiting for us. Maybe. And if we're wrong, it's still Jewishly good to hold on to a little bit of hope. So we're going to hold on to hope with a little bit of light. Yvonne, can I ask you, will you come up and light candles for us? Will you come light candles for us? I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. Come light candles. You can bring your friend with you too. I'm forgetting your name, I'm sorry. Your name, I've forgotten them. Yep. Helen, you're welcome to come up if you'd like to light candles too.
The minute you arrived, we had more fun than we thought.
Right before the holidays, in the midst of the craziness, you had us come to the mikveh so that we could have a moment of renewal, a moment of something different, putting ourselves into a different space before Rosh Hashanah, before the new year. And Helen was there to sing gorgeous songs, and it was the highlight.
Play the guitar.
And play the guitar, and it was really the highlight of that month of Elul for me. So if you'd like the candles and bring in a little more light.
Can I do my rendition?
Yeah.
For thou will light my candle. If you can. For thou will light my candle. The Lord my God, he will enlighten my darkness.
Turn to page 8. We say that we welcome Shabbos like a bride, which is to say that we imagine this is a wedding, which is to say that we imagine that somehow the world can be different, that there can be a change, that if we can take these 25 hours of Shabbos, if we can learn to see ourselves not as the controllers of the world around us, but as just passengers on this big ship that we call Earth. And somehow maybe those other 6 days, when we're called to do the work, to litaken et haolam, to repair the brokenness of the world, that maybe we can do it just a little bit better. Maybe the burden will be just a little lighter. Let go of whatever we've been holding on to. The political schmutz, the personal schmutz, the interpersonal schmutz, the things we're having a hard time forgiving each other for, the pieces we're having a hard time forgiving ourselves for. We put them down for Shabbos. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet ולתהילה ובולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה ובולך דודי לקראת סקלה Shabbat, Shabbat, Neka, Abela. of page 9. Likras Shabbat, Lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi makor habracha, Merosh mekerem nesucha, Sov maaseh מחשבת תחילה והולך דודי לקרא כלה בני שבת נקבלה הולך דודי לקרא כלה Shabbat Kabbalat התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה והולך דודי לקרא כלה בני שבת נקבלה הולך דודי לקרא כלה בני שבת נקבלה. Turn towards the entrance as we imagine the possibility of a better world walking in. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה הולך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה הולך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בני שבת נקבלה. We're going to stand back up in a second, but you know, it's...
Yeah, don't get too comfortable.
Invite folks to rise as you are able. As we turn towards Yerushalayim, we turn towards Jerusalem. Not the Jerusalem of this world. The Jerusalem on high, our rabbis teach. The world waiting for us to create it. The world waiting for us to deserve it. It Adonai Hamevorach Yidirei Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed You may be seated. So this last week, this new amazing radio, this new amazing telescope, this new amazing time machine that we have to look out into the stars, received a radio wave from 8 billion years ago. 8 billion years ago. And we heard it sound. We don't know what it was. In fact, it's not supposed to be there. The standard model of cosmology, the big understanding of how the world and the universe came to be that science has, there shouldn't be this radio wave from 8 billion years ago. So what we know is that what we think we knew is wrong. This is the idea of Ma'ariv Aravim. To back away from our lives, to back away from our world, to take a divine perspective on the universe. To see ourselves as nothing but stardust. Together on page 12. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitfuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem berakia kitzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mibnei choshech, v'choshech mibnei or. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Hamarim Aravim Baruch ata Adonai Hamarim Aravim Yairei Yidirei Page 14. Before we say the Shema, we hold these two competing ideas, these two impossible ideas at once. This idea that we are nothing but stardust, that we are so small and we are so temporary, that we are a blink in the eye of the universe. And this idea of ahava, that we translate as love, but really means obligation, what we bring to each other. That in a world of smallness, in a world of limited days, our meaning is found in the ways we are obligated to each other, to the past, to the future. We are love, 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 love in unending love. We are love, 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 by unending love, in unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are love, 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 by unending love, in unending love. We are love, 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 by unending love, in unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. Embrace, touch, soothe, and counsel. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are love, 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 by unending love, unending love. We are love, 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 by unending love, in unending love. We are love, 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 by unending love, in unending love. Take a moment to center ourselves. It's your custom to rise for the Shema. I invite you to do so. It's your custom to remain sitting or whatever your custom is. In fact, there's even a custom that whatever you're doing before the Shema comes, you keep doing that. Invite us to take a breath, to close our eyes, to let the distance between us fade away. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 If you're standing, you may be seated as we turn to page 16. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'ribata bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshatam leot al yadecha le'yuletotafo b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim leloechem Ahani Adonai Eloechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Eloechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 18. Yiridam yiriyayo yayidaydo Yiridam yiriyayo yayidaydo Yiridam yiriyayo yayidaydo Yiridaydo yayidaydo Two mitzvot that get repeated over and over again. Mitzvah that wherever we find Amalek, we are to destroy Amalek. We are to wipe Amalek out. Amalek was the tribe that while we were traveling in the wilderness, always attacked the rear. Always attacked the most vulnerable in our communities. The sick, the infirm, the young, the old. And so over and over again, the Torah commands us, remember what it is that Amalek did to you. And wherever you find Amalek, wipe them out. We're told that Haman from the Purim story is a descendant of Amalek. But our rabbis take this idea and they say Amalek is not a tribe. You won't find Amalek in the descendants of any particular group. You'll find Amalek within each of our hearts. The inclination within each of us to target the most vulnerable. And then we have the other mitzvah. The mitzvah repeated more often than any other commandment in the whole Torah. You shall not oppress, for you were oppressed. The idea that the bad things that have happened to us, they don't give us special privileges. They give us unique obligations. And so every morning and every night, our rabbis put in Mi Chamocha right in the middle of our service. Right where they said we're not supposed to put anything, they put Mi Chamocha. Remember these two ideas. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nera b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef nora tehilot, osef yaday. Yum tiddy day 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 oh 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 yum tiddy day ay ay yiddy dum yiddy ay ay oh yiddy day day oh 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 yiddy dum yiddy ay ay oh yiddy ay ay oh malechutecha ra'u banecha בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים זה לי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ידעי ים תידי די ים תידי די yiddy dum yiddy ay ay oh yiddy day day oh oh yiddy dum ay 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 oh v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov uga'alo meyad chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 20. Shelter of peace be on all of us. May it protect the most vulnerable. May it protect our friends and our family over in Israel. May it protect the children of Gaza. May it protect all those who go to bed hungry, all those who go to bed scared. Fros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Build a shelter of peace. Haskidenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Hamidenu shomreinu Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Cover over us tonight with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A Sukkot Shalom over all creation, over all creation, over all creation. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Right, folks, to rise as you are able as we turn to page 23 for the Amidah. We take a moment for the prayers of our hearts. The Amidah goes through page, one of these years I'm going to memorize these pages, through page 32. But don't let the words of the page get in the way of the words of your heart. Each of us will daven quietly in our own way, whatever that looks like. Again, page 23, preceded by the Chatzi Kaddish on page 22. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayerecho Bagala uvizman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehesh merabah mevorach le'alam lo me'almaya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru amen. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tifta. Na 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 Ufiaki Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tifta. Na 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 Fiagi. Ufiaki Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tifta. Na 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 Ufiaki Teilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tifta. Na 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 Ufiaki Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Sifatai Tiftach. Na 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Keep thinking about my friend Tomer. When we were in Peoria, where all our kids were born, there would be an Israeli shaliach, usually a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, fresh out of the army, who would get sent. And in Peoria, that meant that they were one of 4 Jewish professionals in the whole city. We had Karen, myself, Sue Katz at the Federation, and our shaliach from Israel. So these young people became like family. I was talking to a friend, Tomer, who was a shaliach, who really became a dear, dear friend. We spent summers in Israel with him. His girlfriend was our nanny for the twins when they were 2 years old. But throughout all of this, throughout all of the awfulness that is happening, the awfulness of war, the awfulness of 200 Israeli civilians, kids, kidnapped, the awfulness of 1,300 lives lost, of countless lives lost in Gaza. The image that keeps coming back to me is my friend Tomer, one of the most genuinely good human beings I know. No longer working for a not-for-profit, but at the age of 34, once again in a military uniform, sleeping on the front lines, whenever whenever I feel like there are easy answers in Israel, easy answers in Palestine, that there are clear good guys and bad guys, I think of Tomer. I think of the Tomers that exist on the other side of that border, on the other side of that boundary. So we're going to sing a prayer for the state of Israel, a traditional prayer. A prayer that there be peace.
Sing.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. Rock of Israel, bless the state of Israel, so that it may yet become a vision of the world as it should be, shielded with peace, and spread over those that we love and those that we don't yet love, with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace. Send light and righteousness to its leaders, its ministers, advisors, and judges, and to the nation that elects them. Align them with the spirit of justice. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. And comfort to all those who mourn, and all those that go to bed at night scared. Help us to redeem the captives and protect the vulnerable. Help our hearts grow large enough to break for every life that is lost, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Arab. Protect us from mistaking our hunger for justice with a thirst for vengeance. Grant calm in the land and secure peace for its children, lasting joy for all of its inhabitants, and real hope for all of its peoples. And let us say, Amen. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael Begoalo. And with our hearts open, we take a moment for a Misha Berach L'Cholim, a prayer for healing, that all of those everywhere who need just a little bit of shalem, a little bit of wholeness to get from this moment to the next, that they find that wholeness they need. So if you're thinking of someone, if there's someone in need of emotional healing or physical healing or spiritual healing, invite you to share their names. For Michael Hess. Thanks, Sarah. A refuah shlema, quick and full healing from that shoulder surgery. Yeah, thank you.
My wife is still struggling to find a solution for her.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Sending love her way. Sending love her way.
Some students of mine crashed their car and landed vertically against the tree.
Ay.
And a couple of students shattered both hips and their femurs, and another student shattered his sternum. So for the four of them in that car, they have a healing journey.
Yeah, sending all of them love. And the Joppa family who lost their dad to a car accident this week, sending love to them. Yeah.
For myself, Dustin, I've been dealing with a chest infection since the beginning of October.
Oi, 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 oi. There you go, a refuah shlema. And I'm glad you said your own name. Sometimes it's the hardest to say our own names, isn't it? Yeah. So thank you. Michael, do we have names on the stream, and Chelsea in the back?
Yes, we're praying for Lisa Howard, Jerry Livingston, Ken Ratzon, Leah Ahava, Jack Pacina, Lubomir, Choco, and Mary Ann Antley.
Thank you. Thinking of all of them.
I just got a note from Teresa that Steve Bloomstein is having kidney surgery next week. So for Steve Bloomstein,
Oi, I just saw him.
he show you a stone?
That was a Rabbi Jim joke, if people didn't catch it, that Leslie made there. That was. So for all these people, for all these names, for the names we've shared, for the names it's been too hard to say out loud, for the healing we know of, for the healing we only see a glimmer of. Page 34, Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor Abrecha Li'aimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mikor Abrecha Li'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We say Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed is the source of goodness in this world that calls us to be agents of healing. And we say, Amen. Invite folks, as you're able, to rise on page 38 as we begin to conclude the services with the words of Aleinu. I always feel like that is the most Jewish phrase, begin to conclude. It's really... yeah, go say goodbye to everyone so that we can leave in, 2.5 hours. It's... Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekiru la liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, אין עוד, אמת מלכנו, אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. I love all the folk traditions of Aleinu that you can hear hummed throughout. It's the best. There was the bouncing. Yeah, I saw that happening. If you're standing, I invite you to take a seat for a moment. As we do at the end of every service, we take a moment to acknowledge those in our community who are in mourning, those who have lost someone. So if you're saying Kaddish right now, if it's a recent loss, if it's a yahrzeit, an anniversary of a loss, or if you're just missing them today, I invite you to put up a hand or rise or some other way that we can acknowledge you and hear the names. For Sue, have a blessed, blessed memory. For your brother. What was his name? Have a blessed memory. Your grandparents, thinking of them. Lisa?
My grandmother who died 56 years ago.
Wow. For your grandma. What was her name? It's a great name. Avi, for your Nona. You put on a beautiful Shiva in the other room for us, though I feel like we're supposed to feed you during Shiva.
That's not how it works in your town.
I was going to say, this is the Italian Jewish custom. You fed us.
Yeah, we're having a memorial service for her in January, another one, so that everyone from Italy can fly in too. And we were told there was only going to be about 150 to 200 people there. Like only 150 to 200.
Well, have a blessed memory, and got a little taste of her as we tasted her pasta sauce in the other room. So thank you.
For Betty Oakley, Paul Oakley's mom.
All right, for Paul Oakley's mom. Thanks, Leslie.
For all the people who were affected by the Lewiston, Maine tragedy, which is so close to where I spent this past summer.
For all of them and for all of the victims of gun violence that just keeps happening again and again. Yeah, thank you, Britt. For Buddy, who changed what Jewish St. Louis looked like so much for the better, so much for the better. Beautiful way of honoring him at the Mirowitz Gala this last year, too. And hearing those stories and hearing his laughter and, yeah. I went up to him afterwards and he started telling me some inappropriate story about my grandpa. And I never heard the end of it, so, yeah, have a blessed memory for Buddy. Other names? Michael, do we have folks from the stream?
Yes, we're remembering Todd Ryan Chad Posner, who died 21 years ago. He was 26 and was serving as a captain in the Air Force in Korea. We have Maurice Vaughn, Suzanne Mondello, Joan Butcher, Alan Cromp, Sam Blazer. I'll sing Kaddish for the 18 people killed in Lewiston, Maine on Wednesday, and the 11 people killed at Tree of Life Synagogue 5 years ago.
5 years.
For Alan J. Weisbard, Samantha Wool, Susie Hockman, Steve Parks, for Kaddish for his mother, Laverne Parks, who died today.
Oi, 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 oi.
Judy, Minka, Magda, Ganka, and Naomi. Charlotte Harmon, Andy Poltman, saying Kaddish for the people of Israel who have lost families and friends during this ordeal. And Charlie Beniso, Judith, and Avi Assassin.
For all these names, for all these lives, we add to it those we've lost at CRC in the last year. For Susan Hockman and Andy Poltman, for Sarah Kessler, and Gary Morris, for Morton Orenstein and Susanna Mondello, for Saul Feinberg and Roger Goldman, the founder of this congregation, for Leah Feinberg and Marlene Eisenstein, whose seat is still open right there. Feels like she's sitting there. For Joan Butcher and Jody Rich, for Edward List and Faye Cohn, for Samuel Bernstein and Emil Nathan, for Alex Bornstein, for Jeff Joppa, a blessed memory, for Bobby Sparks, for Leah Larson and Harriet Phyllis Zimmerman, for Marcia Wofsy and Stephanie Buchler, for Moisey, for Dr. Moisey Shopper, for Marjorie Shepard, for Matt Blickenstaff, of a blessed, blessed memory, for Aaron Coleman and Linda Randall, Rabbi Randy's mom, for Tovia Siegel and Lois Chait, for David Adelstein, Gloria Sirkin, and Marie Sculler, for Kathy Lass and Lois Loomstein, for Jay Sommer and Paul Michel, and for those yard sites that we have this week, the anniversary of the loss, for Laverne Emanuel, for Alberta Slavin, Ray's wife, and an amazing, amazing woman who was sort of the local Ralph Nader, not in the spoiling an election kind of way, but consumer protection kind of way, though she ran for lieutenant governor. I told Ray I want to go out there and see if on eBay we can get some Slavin for lieutenant governor swag still. For Beverly Freeman and Lois Chait, for Dan Green, for Max Solomon, Betty Freed, for Fred Hertz and Vera Epstein, for Maurice Bloth, for Saul Canfer and Betty Staten, for Lewis Harris and Evelyn Rosenthal, for all these names.
I have one too.
Yeah, Leslie.
Joy Marcus's mom, Rose Ellen.
Thank you. So invite you as you're able to rise. Oh, yeah. For Michelle Shanker, whenever her yard site is, we can remember her today too. And every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Page 41, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkedal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'oma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chaye echon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivorach le'olam u'lomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar v'yidromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei t'kudusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata. Dami ran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. Don olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra. Li'enasa b'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra, shemo nikra. Levado imloch nora, vehu aya, vehu ove, vehu yeh, betifara, betifara. Ay, 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 ay. Ve'en sheni lehamshilo leachbira beli reshit beli tachlit velo haoz ve'hamizrach ve'hamizrach. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 Afkiruchi be'eti shan ve'a'ira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira ve'lo ira. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'enasa v'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra. Our arms around each other as we give each other a blessing. And a few announcements while we get situated. CRC Mitzvah Corps is this amazing program we have to take care of each other. They're the group of people who make chicken soup and drop it off when you're sick, or make sure that when you've lost someone that the Shiva is set up. They are there to check in on folks who are homebound and those who are in the hospital, and just are amazing people. And so if you'd like to get involved in Mitzvah Corps, it's this incredible way that they have it set up where people take on 2-week shifts, and really amazing. So if you'd like to get involved, please get in touch with Susan Spiegel. You can find the information on the website. Mitzvah Farm, Sundays in the garden are at 4 o'clock now. So if you'd like to come help harvest for the Trinity Food Pantry, 4 to 6 o'clock on Sundays. Yeah, please. Wow, 1,600 pounds of food. Kinahara.
1,660.
1,660. Amazing, amazing. If you or someone you know might be interested in becoming a member of our community, we would love to invite you to the Prospective Member Coffee. It's happening after Shabbat services, 12 p.m. on November 4th, RSVP to Cheryl. And finally, coffee and conversation. Join us for coffee and refreshments while talking about topics of interest with the rabbis. This is the first I'm hearing of this. It's probably not true, actually. I've just forgotten it, is my guess. We'll meet in the CRC library at 10 a.m. for refreshments and schmoozing with conversation to follow at 11 a.m. The dates are November 11th, December 9th, March 9th, April 20th. I think those are Shabbat mornings, I think. Okay, now let's give each other a blessing. Does anyone have any crowdsourced announcements? Oh, yeah. Join us for Story of Us on Tuesdays at 5:30. The ongoing story of who we have told ourselves that we are. I'll say it differently. It's starting with the very first people who imagine themselves as Jews and asking what were their sacred stories and what did they tell themselves about who they were and how they were supposed to live in the world. And then we're tracing those questions through Jewish history. All of which is to say that if your notion of Jewish history is imagining that everyone 100 years ago and beyond was kind of like Orthodox Jews, this is going to dispel you of any notion like that. It turns out, by the way, Orthodox Jews were nothing like Orthodox Jews 100 years ago also. So.
Dan, I think there's grief group tomorrow.
And is there grief group tomorrow? There is grief group. I'm sorry I wasn't on here, but grief group after services, 12:30 usually, is that correct? Entirely virtual. It'll just be on Zoom. And I'm sure we can get it connected in that room if we need to, if there's anyone here. So thank you, Jamie. Now we give each other a blessing.
Oh, I'm playing rabbi today. May God bless you and grant you with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace.
May we take some of the light from these Shabbos candles that are just flickering right over here, and may we hold it inside ourselves for when we need it, and may we shine it out for when those around us need it. Yisarunat panavelecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you take the peace and love and camaraderie and fellowship that was in this room tonight, and I felt it coming from all of you. Take it with you and feel it and spread it. Thank you, Steve. Feel it and spread it.
Amen. A big, big thank you to Leslie, to Bryn, to Avi for the amazing music.
Danny.
And Shabbat Shalom. And Lisa, thank you for the water. I have the last dregs of a cold, and it's only left when I